PVO.
Positive vibes.
This is the PVO show.
Today is July 30th.
It's not January.
No. Today is July 30th.
Okay. We're gonna make it.
All right. Woosah.
We're gonna make it through this.
All right. So today is July 30th. It's Saturday. And like I said, in my prior podcast, got two back-to-backs and there's a theme going. We have Veterans Day, basically. And my next guest is
Which
coming
is in
from
November, now that we're learning our months.
Yes, they're key to living. So she's a veteran from the Navy. I just recently had the pleasure of connecting with her and we kind of just hit it off. And it was like, you know what? I want you in the pod because my last guest was talking about how he's now getting into TikTok. And, you know, we're talking about how like as men, you know, the alpha type and shit, we're like, I really fuck with TikTok. I don't want to tell people. It's like
I'm having a mental image of you guys just over there beating your chests.
Well, no, not me.
Well, bro, I'm gonna get like 1,000 bitches on TikTok.
No. I was telling him, I was like, bro, like, there's nothing wrong. Like, cause you know, he's from the Army, so I can get with him and his brotherhood, you know, like.
Oh, so he's a little bit slow. Got it.
Yeah. I don't know. But he's a good guy. He's a good guy.
I got it.
But I reached out to you because I saw what you're doing in TikTok. And then when I found out that you were a veteran from the Navy and you were what a helicopter mechanic operator.
Technically, yes. I was technically I was a aviation electronics technician.
Okay. So what does that mean? For someone like me that doesn't know the intricacies. Hello. Oh shit, did we lose you? Perfect.
Not gonna lie. So it can be difficult to get your electronics to work sometimes.
And you know, that's how you know we're not obsolete yet with it. So so you were telling us about
Keep talking. I'm gonna move some stuff out of the
so you were explaining what the position was as far as being the mechanic.
So technically, I was an aviation electronics technician. I can work on any plane's electronics and the plane itself. But the way that the Navy kind of does things and the way that squadron in particular I was in did things, we had to learn everything. So yes, I just consider myself an aircraft mechanic, but I also can do avionics is basically what that is. And I worked on helicopters, which is just another specialty.
That's quite the specialties.
I did a lot of things in the Navy.
And it's cool because like I see that translating into your, in your daily life. You know, I got to find out a lot of cool things about you, like how multifaceted you are, and it's kind of like, oh shit, you're like the female version of me. It's like, wow, you know, like that's.
If I could fix a helicopter.
She can fly a plane.
I can fly a plane. I'm going to fly a helicopter, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there was a lot of good things that we did. There was a lot of cool stuff. There's a lot of bad stuff that we did too, but there was a lot of cool stuff that I got to do when I was in the Navy. One of them in general, when I got to, after we left Iraq, after the war was over and we got Osama bin Laden, which I was on the ground that day.
Really?
There's a whole story behind that involves us going to eat. We used to go eat at midnight. We were working overnight, 12-hour shifts in Iraq. And we went to go eat and everything seemed normal. And by the time we were only over there for like an hour, by the time we headed back, like things started seeming kind of hectic. And within 2 hours after that, or 2 or 3 hours after that, the whole squadron, I mean, like where the helicopters had taken off that day, they were gone.
Whoa.
And yeah, I mean, like paperwork. I mean, like I'm talking like 13 years, 14 years of establishment just disappeared like within hours, which we were trained to do. And we had to do. And that was one of like the most exhausting times of my life. I can tell you about that whole story later. But
now, how long has it been since you've been out of the service?
I got out in 2018. Thank God. Yes, it was so, and that was one of the things, that first squadron, I don't want to say it ruined me for the rest of the Navy, but it was a special operations combat search and rescue squadron. So I mean, like we got to actually go, like I didn't know. I had no clue. It was years until I realized that not everybody that joined the Navy got to go do that. Like I didn't even know I had PTSD until we got out of Iraq and we started getting there's another story about the first time that I even realized I had PTSD, but like we were in another country and we're still working in the same helicopter, still working in the same squadron. But I was sitting in the back of the helicopter with two people, two women two other women that were in my squadron, but they had never been to Iraq. They joined the squadron after we left Iraq. So they had never gone over to the war. And, you know, in my head, I still wasn't really realizing that, like, I was 17, I was 18 years old. I still kind of really didn't realize that everybody hadn't gone over to get
Wait, time out. There's a reason you were so young, right? Can you give us a little backstory why you're so young?
Oh man, I had to get the hell out of Charlotte.
No, that wasn't why you were young.
Oh, I mean, like, what do you mean? When I was young, when I joined the Navy, when I was young?
Well, to get in the military, right? You started pretty early, right?
So yeah, actually, so I finished high school. I was done with all my high school credits when I was 14 years old, and they had a program with the high school where you were able to go to the college as long as you still took one course at the high school. You were able to start taking college classes and get the college credits. And because it was through the high school, it was for free. So I already knew.
You're kind of like a little genius.
I'm a super genius, first of all.
Hey.
I know more than you know. I am really, I've actually been tested. I have a abnormally high IQ. So
did you ever do the Mensa test?
I'm supposed to be taking the Mensa test at the end of the year. Actually, I wanted to see what I would get on the score of that. I've taken a version of the Mensa test, but it wasn't the actual Mensa test. I'd have to look and see what it was called. I don't remember, but unimportant information. You'd be surprised how much I do remember. And then, like, if something is unimportant to my life, and everybody's brain does it actually. If something,
I feel like I know a lot of relevant information.
You throw that out. If you, especially highly intelligent people, like. You don't have room for that. You know how much other shit I have up here that I need?
I need some more gigabytes.
I need extra gigs. Like, screw. It's like, yes. That's like when your iPhone, when you go to take a video on your phone.
Dude, I just did it.
You'd be like, oh my God. That's like
large format files.
All of the large format files gotta go.
I hate those, but I love them.
Including all my ex-boyfriends. Like, bye.
See you. So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. So let's fast forward from the service to what's the next move?
So the next move right now, there's a lot of moves coming up. The biggest move at the moment, let's talk about 3 moves. The most current move right now is I got a giveaway that I just posted going on with a Stacks app. So it's like one of my first, one of my first bigger team ups, and Stacks as an app, I haven't really done too much work with them. This is one of my first ones, and we're just doing a $50 Amazon gift card giveaway. So if anyone wants to go check that out on my profile, it's up there for the next week. But
check it out, guys.
But I'm working on a nonprofit, and Stacks itself is an app that was started by 3 women. So I have a lot of friends in Dallas that are women in business, and I myself am working on a nonprofit. I've been working on the nonprofit for about 2 years, 3 years, who knows how long now. Like, it feels like forever, but this is like my dream. This is my dream vision coming to a head. So the nonprofit is called She Leads. It's an acronym. It stands for Social Health, Education, and Leadership. And basic goal, I'm not going to give you too many details because I don't have all the details put together yet, but is to help women in those 4 aspects. And I kind of got that idea because when I moved to Dallas originally, when I got out of the Navy, I just got out of a really abusive, just like terrible relationship. And was living in a house that I owned, that I still own in Fort Worth. And I got out of the Navy and I wanted to do one thing for work and it wasn't working. I wanted to be a dental assistant because I wanted to be orthodontist since I was 3 years old.
I kind of dated one, and bitches aren't happy.
It fucking sucks. Oh, that job sucks so bad. Look, I'm telling you, I had wanted to be.
cool at first, right?
I had wanted to be an orthodontist from I was 3 years old. There's a picture of me in kindergarten.
Aspirations.
I started kindergarten when I was 4. So a little early,
Nice.
but at 4 years old, there's a picture of me at 4 years old, and everybody, I'm standing next to like a firefighter and a princess, and I'm wearing scrubs, and I have a cardboard toothbrush, and I have a little mask on my face before masks were cool, y'all. And I wanted to be an orthodontist at 3 years old. I knew what I wanted to be until I got out of the Navy to pursue that. And I started working as a dental assistant, just to, that makes money. And it was an easy job. It was like a 2-month certification or something like that. Yeah, exactly. It wasn't. Listen, all due respect to all of the dental assistants in the world, but that job is for somebody's wife. Like, and I'm not somebody's wife.
Dentist's wife.
I guess so. Maybe it was one dentist and a bunch of bitches working for him. Is all I know. And honestly, I got to work 2 different places. I got to work 2 different places doing that job. The first place was at an orthodontist office, and they were wonderful, and I really liked it. But for one, starting out, I kind of hadn't even thought. I mean, like I did the math and thought about it financially, but like it just wasn't paying me enough to keep up with my lifestyle after having got out of the military and not receiving that constant paycheck anymore. Sorry, I've got like knives sitting everywhere.
Oh yeah, because you're a whittler.
I was sharpening my knives when you.
Oh, nice. Multifaceted, I said, guys.
Let's move that aside. So I was working at this orthodontist office, and I loved it, but it wasn't paying as much as I wanted to. And so another dentist office that I had done like my training time with during my certification in order to pass my certification, they said that they were hiring, and it was an office in Fort Worth, and I'll redact their name just because cool. I'll redact their name just to be nice to them, but they were fucking terrible people. And most of the bitches that worked for them, as nice as they were just as airheaded and just lost as possible. And it paid like $16 an hour. And like I said, TBH, that job is a job for someone's wife. And I'm not somebody's wife. I'm a combat veteran. I'm a homeowner. I'm a real estate investor. I'm a, aircraft mechanic. No. First of all, you're not going to fucking treat me like shit. That guy treats the owner of that place treated all of his employees and everybody around him like shit, like just if you were in his vicinity. And then one day I found out they were all Mormon. And I was like, you know what? I gotta fucking know. And I actually ended up getting fired from that job. But what's ironic about it is I got fired there was another girl there that they had just hired. We'll redact her name too, but she had fucked up something. They made us share a room, right? And she had fucked up something like 9 times this week. Like, you just name it, whatever it was simple shit too. It was like, make sure you hang this back on this hook, or like, make sure you sign into your own thing. Anyway, she just fucked up something 9 or 10 times that week. And because we were sharing, they had made us share a room. She went and like scheduled a bunch of stuff that was wrong the way she scheduled it under my name, like under my login on the thing, because I was logged in on the computer that we were sharing. I mean, one of us had to be. So, they fired me because they made the mistakes. And at the time, I mean, like, I honestly wasn't even that sad about being fired. I hated that fucking place and all of the people in it. The fucking office manager was sleeping with the fucking dentist, even though his wife was always out. It was just a fucking mess. I was like, y'all are bad people. Literally. Yeah. Like I said, at that last day I found out they were all. Why would I care?
Don't be. It sounds like a toxic environment.
You froze again.
I said it sounds like a toxic environment. Did we freeze again? Come to me. Come back. Get that good Wi-Fi. You hear me? Oh.
It's okay.
Yeah,
every time you disappear, it's an opportunity to change the camera angle.
I was just waiting for that Wi-Fi to hit. And
gotta get that content.
I get that content. Okay, so now walk us back to what we were saying. So
I was working for a bunch of shitty people and I got fired. Fuck them people, right?
Okay, so what was the next move?
I decided to move to Dallas. And when I got to Dallas, and I decided to move to Dallas to try to start my business. So what actually happened was I decided I wasn't going to work that job. My boyfriend ended up cheating on me, which like, joke's on you, bitch. Where we at now? Anyway. So I was supposed to move to Dallas anyway because he lived in Dallas, and we were going to move in together. Fine, fuck you. I'll just move there by myself. Like I wasn't moving to Dallas in a nice ass apartment because I could afford it only with you. I just wanted to live there. You being there was a benefit for you, not me. So I just moved to Dallas myself anyway in a smaller apartment because I didn't need 2 or 3 bedrooms. So I just got a 1 bedroom.
Honestly, it becomes more of a hassle than anything, right? Like keeping up with it.
What, a larger place? That was
Yeah.
that I was moving because I was living in it. So my house in Fort Worth is a 3 bedroom, like 2,000 square foot, 2 bathroom, 2 car garage. That had a yard. So like I realized at that time when I was like 26 years old, and I was driving home one day, like from work, worried that it was gonna rain because I hadn't cut the grass, and I was like, I should not.
It's a lot of house for one person.
Look, and I had 2 houses. I had like. And the other one was in Virginia. Like that was the thing. I was like, that's not what I should be worried about on a Friday at 27 years old. Is like, oh no, it's gonna rain. I need to get home to cut the grass. It's Friday, like on a Friday night. So
Well, how the home associations people feel?
Fucking successful young women. I should have been on my way out to like figure out where the free drinks were at. Like, do you see this space? I get free drinks when I go places.
So how do you have this balance of? How does that happen? How does someone get brains, beauty, and coolness?
Oh man, you gotta manifest that shit.
Which that's something we actually talked about on our last talk. Was
it can be manifested. Also, I mean, like I don't know. You didn't ask to look for like how you look either. There's a theory that I buy into myself, and I believe it. I'll call it a theory just because. Obviously, you never know what is and isn't real until you get on the other side. But I know it's real. That you pick your life when you come down here. So I mean, I know why I picked me. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
And dimples.
Look.
So let me ask you this. Once you realize, all right, orthodontist not working, what was the next move? What was the next step?
So I wanted to start my business. I wanted to continue with the business idea that I had in 2012, and I kind of started working on in 2012 was just, I really like to craft. Like I'm really good at making things. I'm artistic and crafty. So I wanted to start making a business. So my idea was that I would move to Dallas. I really didn't know anything about business at the time. And like I said, I was living in this giant house. I was worried about the wrong thing. So I wanted to downsize. I'm going to move to an apartment in Dallas and take my little dogs with me. I'll rent my house out like I did the other one. I'll just have 2 rental properties and be in an apartment, and I'll be in the city where I can have fun and learn about business because I knew that obviously
as you're making passive income.
It's a city and there's got to be entrepreneurs rolling there, right? So
I think you're right city for that.
The story, this is the worst story.
Oh, that's gonna be a good story then.
This is like a remove your mom from the room story. Oh. The story of how I moved to Dallas. Or I didn't even realize, like, I didn't know anything about living in a city. I grew up in North Carolina, like in the country, North Carolina. We're in the middle of nowhere. So I didn't know how to. I didn't even know how much apartments cost anything, and of course, like I've got standards. So yeah, I like nice stuff, and so I needed to figure it out. And so I was like, okay, how do I figure out how I make enough money to afford it, like these apartments? Because the apartments I went and looked up, looked up apartments. Right at the time, I don't remember how much I was paying for my mortgage, but probably like $1,300 or something, not a lot. And so it was less than that actually. But
wow, that won't even get you a studio.
Listen, let's not
right now. Yeah.
Let's not even talk about it. Of course, so I started looking up apartments, and the apartments that I was looking up were all like a lot because I've got taste, and I was like, oh no, how am I going to afford an apartment for like $2,300?
Not fancy, me.
And I'm not going to like downgrade apartments, so I needed to find a nicer one, right? So what did I do? I started I started working as a leasing agent in Dallas for a while. That's what I was doing after, I got fired from the position. I'm not sure how I even found out that that was an option or that was a thing, but I was just looking for jobs online, like things I could do. And I probably looked up like things I could do in a city or something like that with no experience. Not that I don't know why I was looking for jobs with no experience, as if I wasn't a full-fledged aircraft. Anyway, I worked as it's something to do. Like I worked as an aircraft mechanic for a while afterwards, but I still looked for jobs in the city. I started working as where were we? I started working as a leasing agent, and I didn't know how to get a job as a leasing agent. Now, there's a whole process, but I didn't know the process. So I had an idea, just like, you know what? I'm just going to walk in there and ask them, right? So I literally just walked into a building in Dallas and I was like, hi, I want to be a leasing agent. If you guys have and for whatever reason, they actually had a guy that was going to be on vacation or something. Maybe he died, who knows? But they had like an open position for about 2 weeks. And so they told me that I could be a leasing agent. And I didn't care. I just showed up and like kept snacks in my desk in there. I worked one other place as a leasing agent before that. We'll try to go through the story quick because the story is long as hell. If I actually went through the steps, you'd be like, oh my God, it's going to take years. But we'll get to the part of how I ended up in Dallas doing TikTok. So that job sucked. I was like, okay, I got fired from that. I went out to California for my birthday. And while I was out there, I just remembered for some reason, I hung out with my friend, my most recent ex who was out in California. Like I said, we'd been best friends for 13 years. And he was out there while I was out there. So we went and hung out, and he just like, I don't know why I hadn't thought about it, mentioned like, have you looked at working for like Southwest or at the airport or anything like that? And I was like, oh, fucking duh, I'm an aircraft. So people forget. Anyway, so I was like, okay, so I applied for a bunch of jobs around there because there's a lot of aviation there in Dallas. And I got a bunch of interviews and I mean, like everybody forgets for some reason. Even I remember talking to my dad around that same time and him was saying like, what are you going to do? What are you going to like look for work? And I said, oh, I just applied for Southwest. And he says, well, what are you going to do at Southwest? Or like, are you going to be a flight attendant or something? And I was like, Daddy, I'm an aircraft mechanic. So I know I look like this, but so it makes it hard to remember. But I'm an aircraft mechanic. Anyway, so
that is a supermodel by day.
Yes, literally. So I ended up working. I accepted a job at a place called Safran Helicopter Engines. Nice. And I was working as a helicopter engine mechanic. And God, that job sucked dicks. I was getting up early as hell. I was just as depressed as could possibly be because I had just got to the
good job. It's a good job.
Oh my God, it was terrible. Except for like, you got to think like when I'm depressed, my depressed is always a little bit different because like if we were dating for a really long time, you start cheating, you fuck up our whole relationship. I'm like sad as fuck, but I still got 2 rental houses and I just moved into a brand new apartment.
You got to do that life thing.
So like, look, like my depressed is only a little bit depressed because like, my life is still better than yours. So it's not like my life is crumbling because my boyfriend left and nothing will ever be the same. It's like my life is still going like 95% better than yours was. So like now you're just my ex with a shitty life instead of a paid for one. Because I'm the first one to slap my damn card out. Look, you want a sugar mama? I'm going to do it. My boyfriends will tell you. Anyway, like I said, so like I'm not the one living in regret. So I'm depressed, but like you can only be so sad when you're still happy and rich. Like
not even that. I think you're just being human.
Yeah, exactly.
You're processing emotions. You're letting yourself go through it. And
I mean, I had like severe PTSD and stuff. So like there's just a whole plethora. Like I said, we'll talk about even finding that out later. But I worked there. And then I originally, like I said, in 2012, I started a business and I was like, I want to start my business again. So I was going to move to Dallas and learn about business. Like I said, this is like a move out of the room and tell the story, but I didn't know how to learn about business. And so before I even moved to Dallas, before I even had the idea to move to Dallas, I was like, how do I figure out who in Dallas would be able to tell me how they live in Dallas? And so I got on Seeking Arrangement.
Wait, what?
like the sugar daddy dating website.
Okay.
So
I'm familiar with that.
with the thought of one of these dudes that says they have money, right? If I actually run it to some rich old dude, he's some rich old dude for some reason, right? And there is nothing, literally fucking nothing that I can't do, especially not whatever this dude's doing. Like I can just learn it. So I thought, you know what? That's what I'll do. I'll just go up. Like, first of all, look at this page. I'll throw it up on this. I'm gonna throw my advertisement, my face up on this seeking arrangement website to go on like a sugar date or whatever with somebody who has money. And while we're on that date, not only will I order a steak and all the money, yup, all the good stuff with it, I'm gonna ask you what you do, and I'm gonna be like, thanks, peace, bye. So I ended up meeting a guy on there named Sean Rakajich, and Sean is just a great guy.
Swell guy.
But so I'm looking through there expecting there to be a whole bunch of old people, and there goes suddenly somebody that looks about my age, and I'm like, that's strange, right? And his thing says he's my age, and I'm like, that's interesting. Well, anyway, I wrote him on there, like the little dating app, whatever. I met him out in Dallas because he said he was having a giant party with all of his friends, and he invites me to this Facebook group. Literally, this guy on this sugar daddy dating website is like, you should actually meet all my friends. He's like, because I wrote him and like, we were talking back and forth on the app, and I told him I actually really had an interest in, I was honest, I was like, I really had an interest in asking you what you do for work, because he said he was a real estate investor. And so it turned out that Sean was on YouTube, and just like you are, he does Airbnbs through rental arbitrage with apartments. So he does not own these places. He rents.
Heard about
them.
that.
Yep.
Yes. And they can do whatever they want with the space. And usually it's kind of hard, but eventually someone says yes. And
yes, exactly. So that's what he does. And it turned out that he has a YouTube channel, and that was back in 2018. He had a YouTube channel that was more watched than Airbnb's YouTube channel about Airbnb. So yeah, it's grown so big now. He does seminars and conferences. It's crazy. So super proud of him. He's still in Dallas. He actually lives in the penthouse of the Katy right now.
Nice.
So yeah, the same penthouse that I looked at, which is, let's not even talk about the fact that I looked at that penthouse and I ended up dating this guy that I moved away. And then probably like a month later, I see my friend moving in the penthouse. I was like, you. Damn it. But not that I'm upset about that. It was $10,000 a month. So, I know that's a lot of change. Yeah, for residents. Anyway, not that I'm not going to move in big. Anyway, so he tells me, I tell him I'm interested in learning. He says, well, I've actually got this like group of friends basically called the Super Friends. You should join our Super Friends group. And we're having a big party. And it was like a week after that, they were having this giant pool party. So he adds me to the Super Friends Facebook group, and I go meet like 80 people that live in Dallas that are all my age, and they're all into different things, either business or art or, just all kinds of wonderful, wonderful people that most of whom I'm still really good friends with. And that was my decision. Oh, you know what? Now I've got a bunch of friends out there. I'm going to move to Dallas. So yeah. And so I moved to Dallas. Sure enough, I moved into an apartment, and the girl that I ended up moving to the apartment next to became literally immediately my best friend that I've ever had in life. Her name's Caitlin Hazel. And if you know Caitlin Hazel, you know that she's the best person on the planet, and no one will ever change that. Caitlin's the best. Remind yourself of that. If you don't know Caitlin Hazel, then whatever. Don't go know Caitlin Hazel.
What do you do with your life? All right. So welcome back. And so Monica, what do you see yourself doing, or what's your 5-year plan? I always ask these questions to all my guests.
Now that you actually asked, because I hadn't assigned a time frame to it yet, but now that we're talking about time frames, I guess I could just go ahead and say at the end of 5 years, I would hope to have made $1 billion or be a billionaire, maybe made $1 billion. You know what I mean? Like, just because I feel like, yes, first of all,
Billy, no Eilish, just a Billy.
I need a Billy. Like, I need to be a billionaire, actually, is the thing. How am I supposed to save the world if I don't have at least $1 billion? Like,
well, yeah, that's kind of how one changes things. You got to have money to make
Exactly.
a difference.
And
Be a philanthropist, you know, just
so I guess like let's just
charities.
set the timeline right now that in 5 years I would like to be a billionaire. So that's where I see myself.
Locked in.
Locked in. And then in between then, let's start with the most recent. Starting next year, I hope to be at that point at the 5th one, but we have the inaugural, I'm only going to tell you the name because actually I'm not going to tell you the name. We're having a festival. Let's call it a business festival. We talked about it yesterday.
Oh, I'm about to say so adorable.
Festival. So it's going to be a huge party in Dallas, and it's going to be for women in entrepreneurship, and it's going to be the kickoff of my nonprofit that I've been trying to build for these few years. And like I said, I've been thinking over the last couple of days that I need to be a billionaire. This party is going to be in spring of 2020. Or no, why did I just back up? This is your fault. The party is going to be in spring of 2023. And it's going to be in Dallas, and it's going to be fucking fun. I'm really excited. I'm hoping to get it national media attention. I really do want to try to get.
So let's cut our first promo for it right now here at the Positive Vibe Podcast. Cut it, promo now. Go.
I would tell you what the promo was if I had it ready, but honestly, it's going to be a business. It's going to be a business.
All right, guys, make sure this time around.
So here's the thing: is I'm working with a partner, and she's the wordsmith. I'm the creative side, and she knows how to make the words make sense. Because when I start talking,
let's let them be aware to be on the lookout for it.
Be on the lookout for it. If you want to be on the lookout for it, you need to go follow me on my social media page. Go find my TikTok, find my Instagram. Both of them are
put all those links down below.
its.monicalynne. Go follow my TikTok.
Follow her, TikTok her, poke her, follow her, whatever you gotta do.
You gotta follow my TikTok and my Instagram. The information is gonna be going up on those. That is where you need to go. We're gonna be throwing a giant party. It's going to be a VIP event. It's gonna be national attention, and it's gonna be for women.
And that's when the internet pauses. She's about to say something really good too. I think she'll come back with it.
What were we talking about? We're talking about my event coming up.
Your big event, and then you're about to say something really powerful, and then the internet cut off.
Yeah, it was the energy coming out of my brain.
I was like, oh,
it cuts the internet off sometimes. It happens. So it's gonna be in Dallas in spring 2023. It's gonna be for any woman, and it's gonna trans, non-binary, inclusive, who wants to start their business, start their life just through their own soul. I'm working with a friend who owns a brand called Soul Powered Brands. So it's going to be a soul powered event, and you can guarantee it's going to be the biggest thing. We're going to try to get national attention for your business. If you want to start a business, if you want to learn how to manifest all those things, we're going to come bring a bunch of women together in Dallas. It's not going to be like a stuffy business retreat type thing. It's going to be like a dress your best, come show up, learn how you can bring your personality, bring your love of whatever it is that you love to a business and make your money doing that. And so far we've just started building a giant network, and that's our goal through that event. It's going to be the kickoff for my nonprofit.
Yeah, you're establishing like a community.
Yeah, and we want to establish a community through the whole country. Why not establish a community through the entire world of women who are entrepreneurs and know the ropes and can help other women who are trying to start without, making everybody just do it yourself. There's women that know how to do these things, and there's tons of women that are willing to help but don't have a platform and don't know how to reach out to find people to help. So I know how to do all that. We're going to connect them.
Have you always been like entrepreneurial like that?
Yes.
Oh, I like that.
Look, we hustle since the day one, man. What's up?
Day one since day one. Where's my money, man?
Listen, what kind of question is that? Why does I told you.
No, I'm asking because I think it's beautiful to hear like a self-sufficient, independent woman that has entrepreneurial experience as we speak, but yet you're coming from a military background, and I'm not.
And combat experience. But you're right, both.
That's what I'm saying. Like you can kick ass and make bread while eating bread, break bread.
I do, and I make really good bread. Actually, well, I'm getting better at it. I've been working. It keeps. Someone please help me. It keeps not coming out fluffy enough. I don't know what I'm
Well,
doing.
like if you and I ever in a situation where you had to like make bread, I would have to like, is it gluten free? Because I break out with wheat.
I can make gluten-free bread. I got you, boo.
What? That's what I'm talking about. So what's your signature
bread,
dish?
gluten-free pizza. I can cook. I can throw down.
Ooh, okay. Might have to take you up on that one
No
day. It
one
would be
goes
like the
hungry.
cook challenge.
No one goes hungry.
I'm
That's
like,
what I love to eat.
I'm gonna be like Iron Chef time, girl. Let's do it. And so let's talk about your other aspects of creativity and stuff, because I've discovered you can sing. You have a very, very lovely voice.
I can dance too.
Actually, lovely's not, so it's selling it short. She's actually has a tremendous voice. True.
Ooh, we didn't go away that time. We got the part that said I could dance, right?
Okay, cool.
Hold on.
Wait, what?
Make sure it's gonna say. It just said that the internet connection is unstable. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, we're good. But no, I just
looked outside. Sometimes it does that. That means it's about to storm. I'm in like the country in North Carolina at my parents' house.
It's about to rain over there?
We just found out it was, and that's probably why the internet just said
okay.
It goes out.
Definitely need some of that rain down here because it's so
it storms almost every day here. Like it's an East Coast thing. All my East Coast.
I bet you got some green grass outside then.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Yes, it is. I'll send you pictures.
It's gorgeous.
It is. Yeah. You can see it. If my bed's a mess, but I'll show you anyway. You can literally see the grass from where I'm sitting outside.
Ooh.
You see that tree?
It is green on the. It's true what they say. It's green on the other side.
You see it?
It's green on the other side. This is true, guys.
Beautiful out here. I'll go drive. I have to go out later. I'll drive by some pastures and send you some videos.
Ooh, where are you going out tonight?
Oh man, I don't know. Actually, I just put a thing on my story on Instagram. I put a post on my story on Instagram telling someone to give me where's the places to go in Charlotte. I don't know.
What's good? Let them know.
I don't know. I literally, where do pretty people go to get free drinks here?
Go to like pretty bars.
I like beer.
So
I'm gonna go to a brewery.
Go to pretty dive bars.
Ew, no.
Okay,
I need free drinks from people who might also like have a boat and invite me or something.
Okay, let's go to the 5 stars. Go to the Ritz. You have a Ritz down there?
Yeah, and I'm gonna go. Actually, so that's one of the things I'm doing on TikTok is I do content creation. I do content creation for brands, and I'm getting into doing it for hotels because I want to travel. And that's one of the reasons that I decided to stop doing social media management that I've been doing since 2020 when I got laid off. I was working at Gulfstream as a private helicopter or as a private jet mechanic. So like, like a G6, the Gulfstream, like the nice ones.
Ooh,
I was working
like
there.
The one that you see like all the celebrities in?
Yes, literally. The very, very high end private jets. They were gorgeous.
Yeah, you ain't shit until you on G6.
That's okay. I'm gonna have one of these days. So I can't wait to get off. And actually,
a couple.
I loved that.
And you'll work and you'll
some of the
do your
people I
maintenance.
worked for were dicks. Like, man, they made the job miserable. So I literally can't wait until I get off in that fucking hangar one of these days and look at them like, oh, you're still here?
How baller would be that when you get to the point when you get your own jet and you also know how to do its own maintenance?
Would it be? How baller will it be?
That's what I'm saying. Like, damn, that's
how baller will it be when we get there? Because that's going to happen. It will be.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm already thinking about that. I'm like, damn, she could do her own maintenance.
I sure the hell will. I already have my tickets from the FAA, so I don't have my A&P license.
Flip that into content.
I don't have my A&P license right now, but I do have my tickets from the FAA to work on it. And honestly, if I was the owner of the jet, the captain as well, because I'm going to get my pilot's license, which I've already started working on. I just need to finish the classes for. Then I would just be able to, if I was the captain of the jet, then I'd be able to sign off on the work too, bitch. But I would never work on my own shit. Honestly, I mean, like I would work on it on my own, but when you're on an airplane, anything in avionics, anything on aircraft in general, you never, ever, 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 ever just like one person that shit.
No, you want a team.
You don't want to find out you did something wrong when you're not on the ground.
Yeah, definitely. Let's do some triple, double, quadruple checks.
Always, every single time, literally every single time.
So I want to ask another question about you. How does one deal with all this talent, all this knowledge, all this beauty, and then modeling? Tell me about modeling. When you talked about that, I was very fascinated because just giving you the background you're giving me, I'm like, oh wow, this woman has done
I've
it
been
all.
modeling since I was like 12 years old. And that's because when I started when I started sixth grade, I was really short. And somewhere between like sixth, seventh, and eighth grade, I grew to be about 5'7", where I am right now, 5'7". And I was still 12 years old, so I only weighed like maybe 100 pounds, if that, soaking wet. Like the wind would probably, I looked at pictures, like now when I look at pictures of myself, I'm like, oh my god, I was smaller than I am now. But
Crazy when you grow up.
oh man, it wasn't until I was like 22, I had to be like almost 21 or 22 before I even started looking like an adult. Like I'm tiny.
Dude, I just turned an adult today.
Congratulations. I remember my first wet dream. Anyway, so I was, I guess probably just from, I was figure skating at the time. And here's a surprise, I know how to figure skate. I used to figure skate when I was little.
I just learned something right now, which now explains the roller skating.
Because roller skating is cool. Because every single person I know, literally every single person I know.
Dude, no,
honestly,
we down in Dallas, yo, check this out. When you come to Dallas, I'm saying we come to Dallas, we got to go to that skate ring in Dallas. They have like this like really popular skate ring like on Sundays, like at night, and it's at 2 a.m. It's like fucking.
Yes, I know. I go there all the time.
Oh well, I guess I didn't give you any 411s today.
They know who I am.
They know the name.
Look, recognize y'all. Y'all better look. The people who don't know the name are gonna regret not knowing it soon. So, anywho, so I completely forgot what I was talking about. I've got ADHD.
It's figure skating.
Oh, so I was figure skating at the time. We were talking about modeling actually. And I guess probably just through that, I was working or like doing it with a lot of other girls who were doing things like modeling and stuff like that. And so I probably at the time, I think probably just asked my mom, was like, I want to get into modeling, you know. And also I think I ended up getting scouted for my first job. I ended up getting scouted for, but I mean, like at the time, like I said, it was in a mall where they were doing another fashion show in a mall at some mall in North Carolina. And someone was like, hey, you should be a model. And so they invited us to this other thing that was at a hotel. And so I got scouted, and then I got to do a couple fashion weeks around the area. I got invited to like Atlantic City Fashion Week. And
nice. That's awesome. I
got invited to do a modeling contract in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. And I didn't end up doing that, but yeah, but that was cool. Wow. So I mean, like I was 12 years old. So
yeah, no, definitely.
But like I said, I was 5'7". So
Vietnam.
So from the perspective at the time, especially, that was way before like social media and everything like that. And even when
print modeling, that's a big deal.
Even when social media started back then, it was MySpace. We didn't have the camera. So like when I say social media, even the people that are watching this or like listening to it are going to think of one generation of social media. We're talking about like social media generation, Facebook and MySpace. We're not talking about like social media now.
Remember Friendster?
So to get like the only way to get into modeling was to like pursue it or like get scouted. You know what I mean? And so like I said, but being 5'7" and 12 years old, they like basically look and see this baby and they're like, oh, so tall, and grab her. And they were probably like, from the perspective of a model scout who like at the time, like I said before, like you could be an entrepreneur from your phone, they were probably looking at me like, this girl's probably gonna be like 9 feet tall, grab her. And then I just never got any taller. Like,
wait, so they
and I'm still 5'7" and it fucking sucks. Because now I'm like the shortest. I still model now, but now I'm like the shortest one. Like most things are for people, like almost everything says that like 5'8", and I'm like barely pushing 5'7". So
what's a fair type of modeling?
It's a lot of faking it.
Let me ask you, what's your type of modeling? What do you enjoy? Like, if you're gonna do some modeling gig, what
Runway.
would you
I love
runaway?
runway modeling. Yeah. It's super
Yeah, I
fun.
could
I
see
mean,
that.
it's exhausting, but the shows are fun. You always make a bunch of friends at the shows, and just
It's a
like I
party,
don't
basically, right?
getting to try on. It's like getting to try on outfits and going to show them off. Who doesn't fucking love that?
Like, I'm so pretty.
Exactly. It's like literally every Lizzie McGuire montage of shopping in a shopping mall, but you actually get to do it on the stage.
Quick
So
Lizzie mashup.
yes. So no, I actually, and that was like where I kind of started is I kept doing that through this whole time I was in high school through the Navy. I just, random here and there would do modeling gigs. And even like I said, when I was in the Navy, still stationed in Virginia, I would do modeling gigs there all the time. There's a lot of film production that goes on in Williamsburg, Virginia, and around the area. So I was in Virginia Beach, and I owned a house in Virginia Beach, and so I would just do modeling from whatever there, and I was trying to work on my business and get it started, which it's all coming to fruition, so we're getting there. And everybody that's been looking at it since then has probably been looking at me like, what in the balls are you doing? Because it looks like, and I have ADHD, so I totally understand. That's the reason that I'm doing it the direction that I'm doing it. But basically, I've got about 7 small businesses, literally 7 small businesses that are my hobbies. They're dog collars, they're like witchcraft shit, they're accessories and makeup, they're like you name it. That's one or the other, and they're all also run on some different way to be run. One of them is a physical retail store, one of them is just an online store, one of them is an Etsy shop. And then when I started learning how to do other things, I started expanding those businesses to say, okay, well, I'm going to make a drop shipping business on Shopify, because I got onto YouTube and like started learning that was a thing. And I was like, but I don't know how to do drop shipping. So every time I found or ran into something that I didn't know how to do, I was like, I'm going to start, like, put this one's making money, it's doing good. I'm going to put it on hold or make it just a source of passive income over here. And so I set them all up as just sources of like very slow residual passive income while I brainstormed the new idea and came to the new idea. And so all of them have just gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. And like I said, every time I found a new avenue of how to do something, I said, okay, I'm going to start one and do it with that avenue. So I started drop shipping, and I did one that was all digital products. And so now I'm working on my nonprofit and the kickoff for the nonprofit, which is basically going to be I made my own brand. I started coming into the last steps, made my own brand, decided that my last step is going to be get on TikTok and market myself as a person, because it's an influencer marketing tool. So I'm going to market myself as a person, and I'm going to start my like consulting business as like one of my last steps coming up. And I'm going to kick off my nonprofit with all of my businesses under my brand, and my brand being a small business resource, basically a small business like tool for people to be able to use, and the nonprofit being just a way to outreach and connect people in a web where there's all the very minimum for me. If they see and know what I can do, which I can do way more than anybody else that I know, so I can do something for you. Look, I got friends all the time like, oh, my tire doesn't work, you need me to fix that? Like, whatever,
You got skills, bitch.
Look, I can do everything. So and no nos olvidamos que hablo dos idiomas. Sure.
Oh shit. So wait. Okay, so hablas español. Now tell us why, where does that come from?
My mommy is Costa Rican. And she has forced fed us Spanish in the best, most loving way possible. She speaks to us in Spanish, and she, when we were younger, just spoke to us in Spanish, and we had to answer in English, and that's the way it's been. And guess what? Now we speak 2 languages. We speak to my father in English. My sister and I usually speak to each other in English, unless somebody's around us that doesn't understand Spanish. We need to talk shit. And what? And
it's always the case.
We speak to my mother in Spanish, and my mom, most of my mom's side of the family speaks Well, her immediate siblings, most don't speak Spanish well, but understand it. And none of my cousins speak Spanish. My mom was the only one to teach her children Spanish. So we are the last of the era. My sister, in turn, doesn't even speak to her own child in Spanish all the time, but her son, who's downstairs right now, speaks and understands. He doesn't speak it very well, but he understands Spanish. My mom also only speaks to him in Spanish. She never plans on speaking
And
to him.
it's a sponge era. They're gonna soak it up
to us in Spanish. When we go to family reunions, it's sometimes still a shock to family members that we speak. And they'll look at my mom and they're like, your daughter speaks Spanish. And she's like, I wasn't about to be the one to show up at this Costa Rican reunion with the kids that didn't learn Spanish. Like, how messy are we looking at it?
Oh yeah, you know you're
getting
judged.
Some flag digits free.
Rosetta.
Yes, literally. So no, we speak Spanish. I do wish that I had more Spanish speaking people in my life. And that's just another one of the facets that I really was like, well, you know what? I'm going to have this nonprofit. I'm going to bring more Spanish speaking people into my life. I'm going to bring people into my life that don't speak English. I'm going to bring people into my life that don't speak English, and I'm going to have to speak Spanish. And so then I will speak Spanish. I will, practice it every day, and I won't have that problem. And I'll practice listening to different.
If you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah, because if you don't, because I don't remember so much, because I mean, like, I've been out of my house for 13 years. There's so much that like I realized in speaking. It's like, damn, why don't I remember the word for something simple? Like,
because you don't use it.
I need to practice. I need to.
I vaguely recall using it at some point in my life.
That's something that I can't lose.
Oh,
like,
arroz.
I need to speak Spanish.
How's your arroz?
Like arroz.
Okay.
Yeah,
people struggle with those.
Pero so I mean, she's spoken to us in Spanish. To this day, we speak in Spanish.
That's what we call a good mom.
Known the best. Listen, we don't slack on we are at the top of the line around here. So yes, they my parents are the best parents. There's no doubt about that. They're the best people I've ever met in my life. My friends, like everybody knowing me growing up, it's a shock that I came out the way that I did. The first time that I ever in my life did my own laundry was when I got out of boot camp. My dad did our laundry for us our entire lives, folded them, put them away.
Wait, is it all females?
Yep.
All day. You better put some softener on that.
Softener. He folded it and put them away. Are you kidding?
Oh, that's a good daddy.
Oh,
that's a good daddy.
Trust me, there's just countless. He cleans our rooms for us. He rubs our feet for us. Y'all are in
now. Is
trouble.
Is that just a kind of like just from the military? You just like gotta be top, tip top.
No, we're just higher. We have better genes in this family. Actually, I don't know. I'm just kidding.
Ooh.
No,
okay.
I mean, no, my parents are just really good people, honestly.
That's awesome because
it comes from being really good people and being raised by really good people. Turns out when you're not raised by shit parents that probably shouldn't have had children.
But hey, you know what though? Like a lot of people don't get that. And so the fact that you got that's dope.
A lot of people don't get that, but I'm on a mission to change that. We're going to start teaching people that they didn't get that and how they can fix that. That's part of the nonprofit. Like I said, that's social health, education, and leadership. That's everything right there. That's your facets of life. That's covering your four walls.
Yeah, because then it avoids or it helps you deal with
literally
mental
that's
health.
Covering your four walls, and then you making sure that you're watching out for yourself puts the roof over your head. But you need to know things like that, and there just really does need to be a place or there's no sense of community really in life. Having gone through the military, one of the reasons that I decided to leave,
there's like a stigma to it,
was that I was in yet another abusive relationship with some bitch who couldn't keep up and was pissed about it, who punched me in the face. And I ended up, here goes this cat again. And I ended up, because it was the military, getting in trouble for that. Chili, come on. Okay, cat, he's all the way over there. So I ended up getting in trouble because my boyfriend punched me in the face. Anyway, and then I had to kick him out of my house. And I had to go to like this family counselor or whatever that the military assigned me to, like that the VA assigned you to. And I had to go to however many of these stupid therapy sessions with this lady who like
Real
at the
quick,
first
we got 9 minutes and 55. And so let's try to wrap up within that. Because
Okay.
by the time this is over, we will have an hour.
Okay. Yeah. So I had to go to this therapy with this lady, right? Who probably on our fourth or fifth session, I just mentioned something about my boyfriend having hit me in the face and me being pissed about it. My ex, I say my boyfriend, that bitch. And she tried to gaslight me. The therapist, a woman, like I was shaking mad, like tears were coming out of my eyes. And she was like, well, you don't cry because you got caught in a lie. It's fine. And she was acting like I lied
Like
about
you're
it.
the problem. Like
yeah,
you're the problem.
And she literally, I said something about having him hit me in the face. And she said, well, you never said he hit you in the face. And I was like, that's why I'm here. Why would I be sitting in this room talking to you? You're supposed to be this family behavioral counselor. And they're saying that I caused him to hit me in the face, which is why I'm in trouble because the military is fucked. And I work with a bunch of fucked up people who don't forget, I remember everything. So y'all get me in the wrong position soon. But that was literally at that moment where I decided to get out of the military. I was like, they sent me over, like I'm in this counseling session for no fucking reason. This lady literally looked at me and said, well, you never said he hit you in the face. She says, well, you're just making things, it sounds like you're just making things up now. And I'm like inside my head thinking like, if I hit anybody in the face, it's gonna be you, bitch. Because like, at that, well, I thought about getting up and doing it because you're not gonna sit in here and tell me the whole reason
You're
I'm talking
trying to make me feel crazy.
You're saying,
you're trying to make me feel crazy.
You're gaslighting me after, like, I'm telling you, I'm sitting here upset, just mentally devastated. I have PTSD at the time. I'm in a squadron that's just terrible. The leadership is terrible. The environment is terrible. Everybody you work with is terrible. Now I'm over here in trouble for having been punched in the face. And you're gaslighting me and saying that it didn't happen.
Yeah, no.
That I never said it happened.
Some major bullshit.
I almost punched that bitch in the face. Look, someone's gonna get fucking punched in the face then. If that paper says that I didn't do it or that it didn't happen to me, it's gonna happen to you. And at that was like the solidified moment that I was like, I'm getting out of the fucking military. This is bullshit. I still have 2 houses. I'm way too fucking successful. I have a business that's doing just fucking fine in the background to be sitting here dealing with this bullshit. I'm 24 years old. I've got 2 houses and I'm listening to this bitch gaslight me. Like, fuck no. And as a woman, I was disgusted. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, as a woman, I was disgusted to do that to another woman. And at that moment, that lady was like in her mid-40s. So I've heard of that. 4 years old. You're that, like, bitch, I will fuck you up.
My ex-girlfriend told me a similar story about how she went to a therapist and she found out she went to SMU, and right off the bat, she's like, well, I don't know how you have issues. You went to a good school. And I was like, what? She's basically denying her.
I've been to some of the worst therapists on the planet. I've been to some of the worst therapists on the planet. To this day, like, I literally just decided, you know what, we got PTSD. We're going to have to fucking fix this ourselves. I'm still fighting at this very moment. I'm still waiting. I've been fighting the military for the last 3 years to get 100% disability from being in the war, from serving in the war and getting PTSD, and they won't give it to me. They say that I don't have anywhere written down that I have PTSD while I was in, but that's because if we had written that down while we were in, we got told we were going to get kicked out, and I didn't want to get kicked out. So I've been fighting the VA for years to get 100% disability, but I'm watching people that I went to my second squadron who came in as like 4 years. For their 4 years, they served as literally like a flight attendant in those 4 years, never went to the war, never served in, like,
they had it
anywhere combat zone, and they are out with 100%. The reason I'm not working is because I've had to file for individual unemployability. Like, I have PTSD to the point I can't carry it. Like, I can't keep a job. I can't work, which is why I had to start working overtime on trying to build all these businesses. Because if I'm like, literally, you get frozen. Have to remind yourself, like, however you feel about your business not working, you always think I can go back and get a job. I can't do that. Like, I cannot go back and get a job.
It's regressing.
Yeah. Like, well, and I mean, like, I have PTSD.
I
cannot get a job. I'm actually unemployable to like the point where that schedule, even like scheduling meetings and stuff like that, sometimes gives me so much anxiety from even just having been in the military. And that's not even the extent of the PTSD. I mean, like when loud noises happen, when I was still working in an aircraft hangar, anything that was loud, anything, someone would drop a toolbox or something like that, any loud bomb or something, I'd be messed up for the rest of the fucking day. So I'd be in the bathroom hiding in the women's bathroom because I was the only woman and there was a couch in there. But I mean, like I'd be hiding in there crying and not able to work.
Let's cut you
like,
short.
Have a job.
We got 4:43. If we could veer towards the end.
Okay.
Now, there's something I always like to tell people before we close the show. Given the show's called the Positive Vibes Only Podcast. If you had a standout message to the next generation or someone like you or going through a situation, what would your send off message be?
Honestly, I would say connect with the people around you. Definitely start connecting with the people around you. Start asking questions. That's one thing that people do not do enough. Start asking the people that you see that are doing what you want to do. Start asking them how they're doing that. Start figuring out where the person is that's going to guide you. Look for a mentor. Look for someone who knows what they're doing and follow what they say. Listen to what they're saying and actually listen with the intent to learn something. Don't just like watch their videos on TikTok and YouTube and be like, oh, they always have like cool music and it's like a cool thing to like, don't zone out during those. Take notes. Like start, if you want to have your life in a better place, don't let the 3 years it's going to take to get there deter you from starting. Like what kind of shit is that? What happens if
what else you got going?
Exactly. What happens if they decide, what happens if someone says, hey, we need you to build the Sistine Chapel, to paint the Sistine Chapel, right? He says, well, that's probably gonna take me like 4 years. I don't think I'm gonna do that. Like
what can I say?
That's not a reason to not start. So like if in my mind where my business has started, I realized it was going to take a long time, and it's taken about at this point 10 12 years to start getting it to the point where things are actually coming into fruition. But like if I had never started and if I had never kept working on it, literally with every ounce of my want to be where I want it to be, in the end it wouldn't happen. So do that. Start looking into how you can do that. There's so much free information. We're at the point in this generation that there's so much more available than there ever was. It's in your phone. It's in your pocket all the time. You have 2 phones, 3 phones. Your friend has a phone. Everybody has a phone. Somebody is on there telling you how to do everything for free. Homeless people have phones. They don't have a place to sleep, but they have a phone. Look, if you get on that phone and look up how to look money and you get into something and you
can start your own Airbnb business.
Focus on actually making that work for you, because it's working for somebody. That means you can do it. That's why I say I want to be a billionaire. You look around at people that say that's a lot of money. How are you going to be a billionaire? Kylie Jenner did it. Okay, Rihanna did it. They can sing, they can dance. Me too. Okay, Kylie Jenner. We don't even know what you look like, and I know for a fact neither one of them can fix a helicopter. So.
But I think it's kind of like once you see how, I always tell people, like once you figure out that this world is a game and you learn to play the game, shit gets easier.
Gotta learn how to play the game, boo.
So with that being said, guys, we're about to go out, and right before we close out, where can people find you once again?
You can find me on TikTok and Instagram. My handle is at its.monicalynne, LYNNE.
And then what about the YouTube?
And on YouTube, find my YouTube. It's the same. It's its.monicalynne. It's we're working on the YouTube. So just
trust me, I'm gonna get her going. I'm gonna get her going because she got a lot of personality not to have one.
So we're just getting going on the YouTube. So that might change a little bit in here and there. But if you follow me on TikTok and Instagram, and then maybe once we get the YouTube, I'll be back on the show to let you guys know we can get the YouTube together. So
okay. Well, Monica, thank you again. Once I get off, I'll hit you because we have like a minute. But once again, thank you for coming on. Honestly, you spit a lot of gems, and I feel like this is an awesome podcast to continue. Thank you for coming on. It was cool to have a veteran in the Army and a veteran in the Navy in the same day. Wasn't planned.
I know, right? Go Navy, beat Army.
something about twos a day. I don't know. And
go Navy, beat Army.
Yes, please go Navy, go Army, and thank you for your service.
Go Navy, beat Army, not go Army.
With that being said, guys, we're out. It's a wrap.
PVO. Positive vibes. This is the PVO show.